What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the Water Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the New York Yankees Legends Fantasy Draft Series here on MLB The Show 21. We are back, and we've got the final month and a week of the season to go. One more played game, and then we are on to October. And everybody loves some October baseball, baby. Everybody loves it. The whole world tunes in to see the Yankees three-peat. That's right. We're going to three-peat. I already said it. I spoke it. Now it's got to happen because it's just how the world works. So, without further ado, no long introduction today. Let's get into the video. Make sure to smash that like button, notification bell, and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club. I'm hyped. I hope you guys are hyped. Let's do this. Here we are, September 1st, 2024. Now, at the end of the last episode, we discussed a couple of September call-ups. We only have 2 roster spots, and we discussed a couple of guys that I was thinking about maybe calling up, and one of them was a pitcher, and it was between Roy Halladay, Jack Flaherty, Shane Bieber, Chris Sale, and Hunter Green. We've called up Hunter Green before. He's been up here before. He was up here in 2023. He didn't play at all, but he was up here in 2023. And we have him up here. We had him up here in 2022. In AAA, he's absolutely killing it. His ERA could be a little bit lower. It's 3.92. Could be a little bit lower, but I'm liking how he's playing in AAA, 14-4. We've also got Chris Sale, who is 6-5 with a 3.88 ERA. Not doing that great, but I mean, hey, he's 25. What do you expect? How old's Hunter Green? He's 23. Then we got Shane Bieber, who I know is not pitching very well. His ERA is lower than the other 2 guys, but he's 12-10, which, I mean, isn't that bad. There's definitely been worse records. He's doing okay. Jack Flaherty is pitching 16-4 with a 220. That might be the guy, boys. That might be the guy. 16-4. He's allowed 126 hits, 37 earned runs. He's pitching with a 2.20 ERA, a 109 WHIP. WHIP? Jack Flaherty's the guy for sure. But let's just check Roy Halladay just to make sure. 13-4 with a 207. Roy Halladay. Okay. Roy Halladay's let up more home runs than Jack Flaherty has. He has a lower ERA, a lower WHIP, less hits, right? Less hits. 147, 142, 127. Okay, so he has more hits. He's won more games, or not won more games. He has that Roy Halladay has is a lower ERA and a lower WHIP than Jack Flaherty. So I think Jack Flaherty is still the guy to call up to the roster, put him in the bullpen, let him see how he does. And then we want to go to a position player and bring up somebody here. And I was thinking maybe we bring up Wander Franco because he's been up here before. In a couple years he's been up here, especially last year he hit 360 in the 7 games that he played. But we've also got a guy like Trey Turner who could definitely be viable, especially in another pinch run situation, along with Ricky Henderson. And then we had, who was the other guy? Ryan Howard was the other man that we were talking about, and I always promised that Ryan Howard was going to get a spot here, and I can't really, I gotta have him up here. Ryan Howard has to be on the team in September. He just has to do it. It has to be that way. So, with September call-ups out of the way, we have one more month and then about a week or so in October. We are 89-40, going for the wins record. Do we all remember what the wins record is? If you don't, I will let you know. The wins record is 116. The Seattle Mariners in 2001. We have 89 wins. We have a month and then some. Is it possible? Yes. Will we do it? Hopefully. Let's find out. We are going to play one of these games against the Atlanta Braves because it's an away game in the NL, so the pitcher, whoever is, gets to hit, which is cool because we haven't had that because we've been in the AL, obviously. So let's simulate the first couple weeks of the season, of the month of September, see how we do. Ooh, that's some big W's. That's some big W's. I like to see that. I like to see that. There we go. 3 losses in total. 99 wins, boys. 99 wins. It is happening. I repeat, it is happening. I just have to make sure that the guys that I called up are still up here. I didn't want them to switch it with those auto roster things. All right, let's keep simming. Keep simming. Get some big W's. All right, we lost a couple more games. One to the Blue Jays, one to the Rays. We don't really have to worry about the division anymore. I think it's pretty much locked up. I mean, let me just go and check real quick. Yeah, okay, so we've clinched the division and the best record. So we've already clinched best record and we clinched the division. So we don't have to worry about the Rays at all. We could lose the rest of our games and still be the AL East champion. So that's the 4th straight year we've won the division, boys. That is unprecedented. Indians had 87 wins. The A's had 79 wins. Yeah, we have the clear best record in the American League. What about in the National League? The Phillies with 98 wins. Phillies could be dangerous this year. So the Phillies are really our only competition for best record in the entire league, which is interesting. Let's simulate this last game against the Rays. And Joe Mauer, I got shocked by this news. Joe Mauer sustained an injury, a broken hand. So our starting catcher, and we lost. And Jonathan India is out for 1 to 2 weeks with an ACL sprain. And we lost that game to the Rays too. We lost a series to him. So Joe Mauer is done. I don't know if he's done for the playoffs. That's going to be pretty tough to come back from. A broken hand. So that means your boy gets a shot. Johnny Bench gets that opportunity back. The former starting catcher for the past like 2 seasons, he's back, baby. And now we got to bring up another catcher because we can't just have one catcher in the postseason. So we probably got to bring up Roberto Perez, right? Unless I don't have anybody that can play catcher, right? There's no secondary position where you can play catcher. Let me just go through. John Birdie can play basically everywhere except for catcher. I just need to do my due diligence, make sure that there's nobody that can somehow play catcher, but he's injured. Isaiah can play catcher, but he's injured. Of course he is. JD Martinez, no. I don't expect anybody in center field to be able to play catcher as a weird secondary position. Jason Hayward, no. JJ Bleday, no. Jay Bruce can't do it either. So we are left with Roberto Perez or Dusty Rocker. Dusty Rocker could be the guy. He's got only 2 home runs, hitting .341, but Roberto Perez has 16. Oh, yeah, let's bring up Roberto. Bringing up Roberto Perez to the major leagues. This is the first time he's been up here, I'm pretty sure, except for, well, he was up here in 2022. He only played 27 games, but he's back because we need another backup catcher in case somehow Johnny Bench gets hurt with a broken hand. But now it's time to decide which game we are going to play against the Braves. Are we going to use Zach Greinke? Are we going to use Randy Johnson? We can't use Randy Johnson because we just used him in the last video. And then Greg Maddux. I feel like we should use Greg Maddux because we haven't used him in a while. We used Zach Greinke a couple of episodes ago. We haven't used Greg Maddux in a while. So let's simulate these first 2 games against the good old Braves. And I got to fix the lineup real quick. That's not what I want to do. To give Johnny Bench another shot at catcher. And this is good. I'm glad that Johnny Bench gets a shot to start at catcher again. He deserves it. He was our guy for the first 3 seasons, I think. Or first 2 seasons. Oh, the Rail Raiders won the AAA. They made the playoffs. Well, they didn't win the AAA. They made the playoffs. And the Patriots also made the playoffs, so that's good for them. We won the first 2 games against the Braves in commanding fashion, and now we play Tyler Mahle and the 76 and 75 Atlanta Braves. So they're in that really bad NL East division. Get rid of that notification. We have 105 wins, so let's do some math here. 106, 107, 108, 109, 110. If I could scroll down to it. There we go. 110, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So the best that we can do is tie the wins record because we lost too many games to teams here in the month. But that's only if we win every single game left on the schedule, which is not really likely the way that we were playing this month. So the wins record is probably done, which sucks because I really wanted to have it. Randy Johnson's pitching 20-6 with a 3.36. If he could just have a lower ERA, he'd be a shoo-in for the Cy Young. Absolute shoo-in for the Cy Young. But unfortunately, oh, he is. I was going to say, it's probably because he's just he's just got so many strikeouts. I mean, I guess it could happen. Randy Johnson could get the Cy Young back-to-back, but Roger Clemens with that low ERA is going to be hard to beat. So I don't know if he can do it. I mean, I hope he does get back-to-back and then 3 straight Cy Young winners for the Yankees, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be possible. That's going to be a tough ask. And Mickey Mantle's got 50 home runs in the leadoff spot, boys. That's why you put a guy, and Gleyber Torres got 45 home runs. That's why you put a guy like Mickey Mantle at the leadoff spot, 50 home runs, 120 RBIs, and hitting .312. Griffey's got 42. That's his best season, right? That is his best season. He had 40 in year number 1, and now he's got 42 at that DH spot. Gehrig's got 42. Bonds has 39. 26 from Sosa. 45 from Torres. 42 from A-Rod. We are just bombing, folks. Hold on. Let me not records. Let me go to stats, team rankings. We lead in batting average by a big margin. We are hitting as a team 296, and the Orioles as a team are hitting 288. That's huge. We are 5th in at-bats. The Rays have so many more at-bats. We lead in runs by an absolute mile. 997 runs, with the second being 895. We lead in hits by a good amount. We are 2nd in doubles. We are 3rd in triples. We are just unbelievable in home runs. As a team, boys, as a team, we have 332 home runs. That's got to be some sort of record, right? There's no way a team in real life has ever had, as a full team, ever had 332 home runs. And we still have about 2 weeks left to go. So we could have even more home runs than that. That's unbelievable. And we have 100 more RBIs. Literally 100 more RBIs than the 2nd place team. Sheesh, that's crazy. We don't lead stolen bases. We don't get many stolen bases. A-Rod's got 27. Ichiro's got 12. We're in 7th in that. We've been caught stealing 29 times. Stolen base percentage. We have the best stolen base percentage. Walks, we have 665 or 655. Strikeouts, we do have a lot of strikeouts. We're only 2nd in that. Slugging, we are leading slugging by a decent margin. On base percentage, we lead. Total bases, we lead. Plate appearances, we don't lead. We are dominating, boys. Absolutely dominating. That's unbelievable. I didn't realize that we were just so dominant. I need to check records because we have to have some sort of... There's got to be some sort of team record. Is there some sort of team record? It looks like there's some pitching records that we do have. Wait, that can't be right. I'm guessing what happened is the pitching, if you notice, there's Mariano Rivera says 2024. I'm guessing what happened was we have the real life Mariano Rivera, and they just took what year we're in and gave him, he's adding on to his saves. Because if I check real quick, I'm going to check. How many saves did Mariano Rivera have? Mariano, how do I spell his name? Mariano Rivera saves. How many total saves did he get? Total saves. He had 652. So, as a career in real life, Mariano Rivera had 652 home runs. So, what this has done is just add on to those career records by what he's done in these 4 seasons. So, he's got 813 saves now. So, that's the same with Cy Young, and that's the same with Nolan Ryan. And the reason that the other pitching in the NL or in the single season record that Nolan Ryan didn't get is because that's a single season record. So nobody's going to get 383 home runs. The closest is probably going to be Randy Johnson, but even that, he's only got like 260, so he's probably not going to get there. That's the same with Ricky Henderson up there in the stolen bases for the career records. It's just adding on to the stolen bases that he had in the career. So that's good to know that fixed that. And it's also good to know if you look up in the top left that they have 73 home runs from Barry Bonds, but they don't acknowledge that it was Barry Bonds. They just say the San Francisco Giants in 2001. That's pretty funny. All right, so with all that out of the way, it is finally time to play our first National League game, I'm pretty sure, right? We haven't played a National League game since maybe year number 1 or year number 2. It's been a while since we played a National League game. Let's go do it. Greg Maddux is going to be hitting, which is not going to be good. Maybe we substitute Shohei in for a little bit and see how he does. But that's going to do it for all of this. It's time to get into the game. Make sure to smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and the subscription button. Join the Juice Club. Let's go play them Braves.
Underneath the southern skies of Georgia, we've got daytime baseball from Truist Park. Today, the third and final game in this 3-game series between the New York Yankees and the Atlanta Braves.
And now,
alongside Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac, and guys, the Yankees have played well in the series so far, winning the first 2 in this 3-game set.
Yeah, and to sweep this team right here would be a huge momentum boost. It is not easy to sweep a series. I don't care if it's 3 games or 4 games. I think back to Bobby Cox. His big thing was you just want to win series. 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4. But when you have a chance to sweep a team, you have to take advantage of it.
Tyler Mahle starts the game on the mound for the 3rd and final game of the series. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
One of the things that jumps out if you look at that stat sheet, a very high whip coming into this start. One of the things he's going to have to do a much better job, keep traffic off the bases, keep the walks down, try to limit the amount of hits. He's had a rough go of that so far this year. Let's see if he can.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing some fresh faces here. Ricky Henderson's getting the start in left field instead of Barry Bonds. I figured we might as well get some guys that don't necessarily get some playing time, so you'll see a couple of new guys in here. Ichiro is playing right field instead of Sammy Sosa. We always see Sammy Sosa and Barry Bonds in these games, so is that going to get down? That does get down. We always see those guys in the game, so you might as well. I mean, we're getting towards the postseason where you're going to see those guys a lot. So, and I do have Griffey in here, even though DH is not a thing. He's starting in center field for the first time this season. I gave Mickey Mantle the day off. And that's going to be a possible fielder's choice. Oh, we're going up against Frank Thomas. I didn't realize that. That's pretty cool. All right, so we also are seeing the debut of Ryan Howard this season. This is his first start, his first at-bat, I think. And that's going to be, should not be swinging first pitch every single time. I think I've swung first pitch every single time. That's okay. That's what we do here. That's what we do here on the channel. We swing first pitch. All right, trying to get me to chase up high, Tyler Mahle. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You're trying to get me to chase up high. Ooh, he's getting me to chase outside the zone because I swung at that first pitch that was a ball. He's trying to work the outside, see if I'll fall for it. But I'm too big brain. I'm too galaxy brain to do that. That was a home run. That was a home run that if I had the PCI where I wanted it, would have been gone. Because that slider, there's no way that slider doesn't go out of the park. And that is a line drive. That's what I should have done with the slider. I can't believe that ball didn't get out. And if Ryan Howard was faster, that would have been a double. But that was an absolute laser to right field. I thought that might have been gone. We've got A-Rod playing short today because Jeter was dead tired. He had like 0 stamina. So Derek Jeter, he'll be hopefully back for the postseason, unless it takes it out again. Is that going to get? That's not getting out. There's no chance. I was going to say that was way too slow. We got a run though. Ichiro comes in. Greg Maddux, 15-7. He's ready to go. We're going up against Jackie Robinson, a man we traded at the deadline. Let's see how we do. This is a very personal game. We're going up against guys that we got rid of at the deadline. Frank Thomas, Jackie Robinson. We're also going up against Pete Rose. He's here, and they're going to bunt. And David Wright is going to get him. No chance. Review that. Review that first play. Reviewing it. Come on, Donnie Baseball. You got to get this right. That's out. That's the barehander underthrow from David Wright, and
It's just tough to tell.
Ooh, I think he's safe. I think he's safe. We're not gonna review it. That was close. That was very close. But I think they would have called him safe, so we're not gonna take a chance. He's gonna steal on a two-seamer on the greatest catcher of all time? You're gonna steal the greatest catcher of all time, Jackie Robinson? Didn't you learn? Didn't you learn from your time being a Yankee that you don't steal on the greatest catcher of all time? What are we doing here? Johnny Bench don't mess with that. What are we talking about? Get out of here. Stealing on the greatest catcher of all time. Who do you think you are, Jackie? You should have picked up some things while you were in New York. You should have known that you don't steal. You don't steal on Johnny Bench. He's never... I don't think he's ever let somebody steal on him. I think he's got 100%, at least in the games that we've played. He's got 100% throw out caught stealing percentage because he's always got that rocket arm. Now we got to try and strike out our former first baseman, Frank the Tank Thomas. And bye-bye. Oh, he connected. Did not think he was going to connect with that. Are you going to connect with this circle change low and inside? I don't think so because you don't like hitting low inside. I know. I had you for 3 years, 3.5 years. I know you don't like hitting low inside. And strikeout. Oh, no chance you make contact with that. There's no way you make contact with an 81 circle change. No chance. Just chase something, you behemoth of a man. Yes! Got him. Sit down, Frank. Sit down. David Wright up to the plate. We just saw David Wright in the last episode, but, I mean, what do you want me to do? Derek Jeter was tired, and A-Rod's the only one that can play short. That was not a good swing. That was my bad. I need to stop swinging first pitch. What am I doing? I need to stop it. Johnny Bench. Oh, is he staying hot? And I swung first pitch again, and I got a base hit, so I'll take it. Ever since Johnny Bench came in to start for the injured Joe Mauer, apparently he's been hot, so I'll take it. Ooh. Oh, Robbie Cano! Robbie Cano's playing second because our normal second baseman is tired as well. Who is our normal second baseman? Oh, Gleyber Torres. That's right. Gleyber Torres was tired. Now we got Greg Maddux. I don't know if you could hear that or not, but Matt Vasgersian was saying that Johnny Bench had career hit number 2,500. So I don't know if that's legit or if that's just something they said, but I'm going to take it as fact because that's pretty cool. I don't know what I should be doing here. I'm already 2 strikes down, so I can't bunt anymore. But, I mean, he's throwing splitters at me. Tyler Mahle's throwing splitters at the pitcher. Let's see what they can do here. Come on, Tyler. Give me something I can schwack. And they did. I'm testing it. I'm testing Manny Ramirez's arm. There's no way he throws me out. No way. It was a bad throw, too. Greg Maddux gets an RBI, boys. Greg Maddux gets an RBI. Ricky Henderson flied out in the first inning. Arguments could be made that I should have hit that for at least a double. Once again, swinging first pitch, like I do. Ricky Henderson got World Series MVP last year, didn't he? And that's going to get down. Okay, Jackie couldn't make the play. You know I'm stealing with Ricky Henderson. When you have Ricky Henderson on your team and you don't steal, you're just a bum. So we're stealing for sure. We are stealing for show with Ricky. And that is a stolen base. Easy. Easy money. Alright. Ichiro, let's see if we can get you a base hit. That's going to be an out. It said I had good timing, but I didn't really feel that good off the bat on that one. Manny Ramirez, somebody I've targeted. He has no home runs against left-handed pitchers. I've never seen that before. We're this deep into the season, and Manny Ramirez is signed out of Japan. Okay. We're this deep into the season, and he has never hit a home run this season off of a left-handed pitcher. That is absolutely wild. It sucks that Greg Maddux is a right-hander, because we'd be in the clear if that was the case, if he was a lefty. But Manny Ramirez is somebody that I've targeted to try and bring into this team. It hasn't all the pieces haven't fallen into place just yet, but that doesn't mean that they won't somewhere down the line. Maybe soon, hopefully. Maybe this offseason we try and bring him in. I would like to. I'd like to have him on the team. I'd like to have Roger Clemens on the team, obviously. But the Oakland A's are very stubborn when it comes to Roger Clemens. They won't let him go. And struck out Soler as well. Greg Maddux starting to heat up a little bit. It took him a second in that first inning to get warmed up, but he's starting to get there now. Starting to cook. Absolutely cook. Pee Wee Reese up to the plate now, and he's going to foul off that two-seamer. Is he going to fall for the slider just like everybody else? He's going to definitely fall for it, isn't he? Oh, he hit it! But that's going to be David Wright easy play. And that's 3 up, 3 down. That's how we do it, boys. That's how we do it. Ken Griffey Jr. Here comes Junior. He doesn't really get much playing time other than DH, which means he plays like every day, but he doesn't get much playing time in the field is what I should say. Especially since that's not out. Okay, I was gonna say that's not out. Especially since last season, his last year in the field, he absolutely sucked. So I'm glad that he's had a resurgence being DH, and now he's going to be our DH for basically the rest of his career, I would assume, because I'm not getting rid of Griffey. Griffey's one of those guys that I'm going to keep. Ooh, that was a nice catch. But Griffey's one of those guys that I'm going to have on the roster the entire time, the entire series, because he's just one of my favorite players of all time. So it's a good thing he's a really good player, because he's going to be here for the entirety. And that's going to be a double for A-Rod. I'll take it. A-Rod is possibly another guy that could be here the entire time. David Wright, not so much. He could definitely get moved at some point. I'm not saying like this offseason or anything, but if an offer comes in and I need to use David Wright, there's definitely a possibility. I would definitely think about it. And there's a couple guys like that. I was already like shopping Johnny Bench around. Johnny Bench is definitely a guy that I would think about trading. I don't want to, but I would think about it if I need to get a deal done. That was a good throw. And now we get to the third inning. The catcher, Luis Campusano. Let's see if we can strike him out. He's a short little guy, isn't he? I don't know how tall he is. Maybe like 5'9", 5'10", something like that. He can't be much taller than 6 foot if he is. Let's get him with the circle change. He's not going to see this coming. And he didn't. Bye-bye. I think that's 5 strikeouts in a row, if I'm not mistaken. Who is this? Mickey Moniak? Who the heck is Mickey Moniak? Do I just not know who this is? Is this a real guy? First round pick in 2021. This must be a real guy. I just don't know who he is. And let's give him the curveball. We haven't thrown the curveball much today. Let's see if how he handles the curveball. And can't handle it. Nobody can. This is Greg Maddux, baby. And now we got the pitcher, Tyler Mahle, up. Oh, he made contact. Let's do this. Ooh, nice pitch. All right, and now goodbye. Just absolutely goodbye. Oh, you didn't chase the slider? What kind of pitcher are you? Who doesn't chase a slider? Oh, he actually made contact, so I'll give him credit. He made contact. His other two guys didn't make contact at all, so that's going to do it, boys. I'm assuming that nothing really is going to happen. This is kind of a boring game, but if something does, I'll pull you guys back in. All right, I wanted to bring you guys back in because I brought in Shohei Ohtani here to pinch hit for Greg Maddux. This is the first time we've seen Shohei, and he's going to pop it up to center field, but that's okay. Shohei's going to come in and pitch the 7th, and then we'll have somebody come in and pitch the 8th, and then obviously Mariano in the 9th, so I just wanted to bring you guys back in for that. That's going to get down. Let's go. Robbie Cano gets a double, giving us a 4-run lead. So that pretty much extinguishes Mariano Rivera's save opportunity. And we need a pinch hitter. Let's go Sammy Sosa. Let's bring Sammy into this game. See what we can do here. See if we can do some damage. Ooh, way too out in front. That one, I'm a little too anxious to hit one, get a couple more runs in here. This hasn't been really that much of a high-scoring game. That's going to be up. Send Robbie to third. Sammy's going to get the single, the RBI single. That's 5 runs now. Good for Sammy. Good for Sammy. They're pulling Green, and they're going to bring in Craig Kimbrell. I am going to sit down Rivera and then choose to warm up Roberto Perez. Ricky Henderson's 3 for 4, so let's see what we can do here. Craig Kimball, another guy that I've targeted and I've had my eye on. Ooh, that was bad. I've wanted to possibly bring him in. I don't know if I ever will. I want to see if he's a free agent this year. That could be a good move, a good pickup. I'm not sure who the free agents are this year. I can't remember.
He's a 15-year major league vet, so it's been quite the career for him.
Yeah, and that's the name of the game.
Ooh, I should have had the PCI up there. If I had the PCI up there, that's a base hit. That's a base hit, but I didn't think that the knuckle curve was going to go that high.
You know exactly what you're getting. The consistency this guy has had.
I didn't have the PCI up there again. The knuckle curve, him throwing the knuckle curve up so high is just weird. Who does that? Who throws a high knuckle curve? I'm not expecting it. Let's see if we can get Ichiro on base here, knocking another run. Robbie Cano on third, Sammy Sosa on first. You know Ichiro wants that base hit. He wants that RBI. He's only got 1 hit on the day. That's going to be... Jackie's got it. Jackie's got it. Okay. Now we bring in Roberto Perez to finish this game out. We got to lower that ERA because the ERA is pretty high for Perez. And that's not going to help. That is not going to help. Maybe we trade Roberto Perez. I don't know. He's being pretty costly for us if he can't get these guys out. This will be a good test for him. I mean, the Braves aren't that good of a game. Did I get him out? Did I get him out? Okay. I thought I stepped on the bag, but it just wouldn't let me. I don't know what that was. That was weird. All right, Robinson at the plate. They got that guy on second. Now he's on third. If Frank can get there, let's go. All right, so 1 more out, and we go home with a sweep. We're probably going to go home with a sweep anyway, even if they score this run. Pete Rose at the plate. A tough out. And it's going to be all Ryan Howard. I've been used to saying all Frank Thomas. That's going to be all Ryan Howard as he gets that out. And the New York Yankees take the dub. That was a good game. It was pretty boring until the end, until the bottom of the 8th. Yes, as you see, we didn't score 3 through 8 until we got to the 9th. Greg Maddux only pitched 6 innings because I wanted to get Shohei Ohtani in the bat. I thought that would be pretty funny. I would have been really good if I would have hit that home run, but that's okay. We still get the W. That's win number 106 on the year, and we continue our quest for tying the Seattle Mariners win record. I don't know if we can do it because remember, we got to win every single game left on the schedule. and that's going to be very tough to do. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do it, but we've got a chance, right? We got a chance. All right, we're back in the calendar, and it's time to finish the season. It's time to simulate the rest of the season. That's looking good. That's looking good. We've got those wins, boys. Let's finish out the month with a W against the Angels, and we lost. There goes the tie in the wins record. We lost to the Angels. We didn't even sweep the Angels. That's upsetting. Jonathan India is eligible to reinstate. We'll keep him on the 10-day just for a little bit. All right, he's back now. And we lost to the Red Sox. So we have 113 wins on the season. We have a chance at 114 wins going up against the Bo Sox, who are 55-106. That is crazy. 113 wins, though. Let me check quickly. What do I want to check? I want to check GM goals. So we had 114 wins last season, and now we have a chance at 114 wins again. So that's pretty crazy that we have a chance to tie the exact same record that we got last year. I just wish we didn't lose this game to the Angels. We lost way too many games in the month of September. I mean, look how many games we lost in August. Like, what are we doing here? Why are we losing so many games? But I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. We are ready to go for the final game of the regular season. We did win, so we tie our exact record from last year, 114 wins. We are taking on the wild card opponents. I do want to check the league leaders. Randy Johnson got a bunch of awards, I'm assuming. So I'm going to quickly go through here on the American League and discuss some things, and then we'll go to the National League. I won't really discuss much in the National League. 53 home runs is what Mickey Mantle finishes with. And then Gleyber Torres finishes with 48. A-Rod finishes with 46. So we had the top 3 home run hitters in the league this year. Griffey finishes 8th with 44. He's the next up on the list. And then Gehrig with 44 as well. Barry Bonds had 43. We absolutely just destroyed the ball. RBIs, Alex Bregman hit 153 RBIs this year. That's actually crazy. Griffey Jr. hit 141 as a DH. Barry Bonds hit at 137. We had nobody. Tony Gwynn killed it. Good for Tony Gwynn. He was a Yankee for one season, and then he was in our minor league system for 2022, and then we traded him the next year. But good for him. It's good. I'm glad to see him dominating. On base percentage, Bryce Harper had an amazing year. It's no wonder he's going to win MVP this year. Walter Johnson got the top spot, even though he tied with Randy Johnson for wins. I'm curious to see who won Cy Young, because I skipped through those notifications really quickly, so I don't know who won Cy Young. But Johan Santana finishes with 20 wins. John Smoltz finished with 16 wins. Johan Santana had 4 losses on the year, which is crazy. Craig Kimbrell, the young Craig Kimbrell, had 46 saves. Goose Gossage had 45. Where did good old Mariano finish? Did he finish in the top half? Where's he at? Roberto Acuna had 4, so maybe I passed him? I had to have passed him because he had more than Roberto Acuna. Mariano Rivera, where are you? I don't see Mariano Rivera at all on this list, which is weird. I don't know. ERA 2.90. That might have taken the cake for Cy Young, because I know they value ERA very highly, and Randy's ERA is just really, really high for some reason. Shutouts, strikeouts, 276. Yeah. See, you know how hard it is to get 300 plus strikeouts in a season? That's why Nolan Ryan's one of the greatest of all time. Because Randy Johnson, a strikeout pitcher, only got 276. So how many complete games? Randy Johnson had 4 complete games. All right, pitching war, pretty good. All right, now we're going to go through the National League. Just pretty quickly. We're not going to really do too much because we don't really care about the National League that much, but you might as well show it just in case you guys are curious to see who was dominating over on the NL side of things. You can obviously pause at any time. I know I'm going pretty fast, but all right, there we go. That is all the the league leaders. Now we got awards. It did say Randy Johnson. Back to back, baby. Randy Johnson edges out both Walter Johnson and Roger Clemens to go back to back for Cy Young. Now look at that over on the left-hand side. Randy Johnson, Lefty Grove. 3 straight Cy Young winners from the Yankees. Mickey Mantle came close to back-to-back MVPs. but he just didn't have the RBI numbers and he didn't have the average that Bryce Harper had one of the best seasons that I've seen in a long time. 359, 44 home runs, 145 knocked in. He had a 683 slugging, a 1.120 OPS. I mean, just one of the best seasons ever. One of the absolute best seasons ever. One of his best seasons ever as well, and on route to being the MVP. He also won the batting title, obviously, with those kind of numbers. You would expect him to. Rookie of the Year is Seth Beer. Okay, good for Seth Beer. Jared Kelenic almost won it. Harper also wins the Hank Aaron Award. Harper had a great year. He swept the awards, it looks like. Gold Glove pitcher, Gold Glove catcher. We didn't have any Gold Glovers, it looks like. No Gold Glovers, but we did have a Silver Slugger at DH with Griffey Jr. Piazza has clean swept all the Silver Sluggers. That's crazy. Eddie Murray took first base. Gleyber Torres takes second base with 48 home runs and a 308 average. A-Rod almost got the Silver Slugger for third base, but his average RBIs were just a little bit too low. Shortstop, right field, or left field, I guess I should say, and then center field, and then, actually this is left field, so right field's over here. Bryce Harper takes it. Mickey Mantle takes the Silver Slugger for the outfield, and then Kirby Puckett takes it as well. We don't have any postseason MVPs because we don't have that yet. So Willie Mays and A-Rod are back-to-back postseason MVPs, and then we've got World Series MVPs, Ricky Henderson and A-Rod. So who's going to win it this year? I don't know. Hopefully we're in it to find out who's going to win. I don't know what's going to happen, though. But if we can just go through regular stats on the season just to wrap up this episode. Just go quickly through some of the big name guys. We'll sort through home runs. Mickey Mantle with 53 home runs, 129 RBIs, 308 average, just killed the game. I'm so happy that we traded for him because he is a monster. Gleyber Torres, second, which is actually pretty shocking because we got him at the deadline, and I didn't think he was going to be a power guy. Well, I knew he was going to be a power guy for us, but I didn't think he was going to be this much of a power guy. But 48 home runs, 130 RBIs, 308 average. I mean, 619 slugging, crazy. Then we had A-Rod with 46 home runs and 111 RBIs. Griffey, 44 home runs. Lou Gehrig with 44 home runs. Barry Bonds with 43 home runs. So all of our home run power is like 6 guys. And then it just drops off after that with Joe Mauer hitting 21, 15 for Johnny Bench, 12 for David Wright, and then really nobody else. That's crazy how much that changes. Who led an average? We had Ricky Henderson hit 500, but he only played 9 games and had 14 at-bats, so that doesn't really count. That's kind of, it's not relevant to what we're talking about because he didn't play enough games. So Barry Bonds led with everybody who played enough games. Barry Bonds led with a 313 average. Then A-Rod with a 311. So nobody hit like crazy good with their averages. But with a team like this, we have a bunch of power guys. We don't hit for average. This team is not hitting for average. So this team's hitting for power, and it shows because of our home run numbers. So I would expect us to not have the greatest of just averages in general. But slugging percentages, I would expect us to have some crazy slugging, like a 674 for A-Rod, a 650 for Mantle, 619 for Gleyber Torres, a 617 for Barry Bonds. Like these are the kinds of numbers that I would expect from a team that hits for power. So those are your stats for position players. Then we go to pitchers. We had Randy Johnson. Obviously, we saw he won the Cy Young. We saw his stats. He had 21 wins. Yohan Santana had 4 losses on the year with 20 wins. That's crazy. With 212 innings pitched, he had 193 strikeouts, a 407 average. That's something that I've noticed throughout these 4 seasons, that I know that there's so much talent in this league now, but the averages are so high. Like if we go to a guy like Randy Johnson, for instance, every year his ERA is high. I mean, yeah, he's had a couple low ones, but even his low ones are still pretty high. Like a 281 is good, but it's high for a guy like Randy Johnson. 294, a 342, and a 341. So if we go to a guy like John Smoltz, He's had, like, here we go. Here's a good example. So ever since we started, a 395, a 426, a 383, and a 392. But if you go over to his wins, I mean, except for the first season, every year has been pretty decent. So that just tells you how good this league is. It's crazy how good this league is right now. But Roberto Acuna has a 6.87 ERA. He went 1-4 in 42 appearances, 7 blown saves, 28 earned runs. I mean, maybe we move on from Roberto Acuna because we can't have a pitcher in the bullpen that's pitching with a 6.87 ERA. It just can't happen. So maybe Roberto is off the team next year. I don't know. That'll be something we have to think about. Raleigh Fingers also had a very high ERA coming in this year. But he did have a 581, even higher in the second season with Cleveland. So I don't know what to make of that. He also pitched 107 innings. Why did he pitch 107 innings in year number 1? Was he a starter? He must have been a starter for Cleveland in year number 1. That's crazy. Why was he a starter? And that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. That was weird. But that is your stats on the season for your players. We can go through individually, take a look at some stats. I'll pause it, or you guys can pause it if you want to take a look quickly. But those are your stats that matter. All right, there we go. So we've taken a look at stats. We've taken a look at league leaders. We've taken a look at awards. I do want to quickly take a look at top prospects. We have C.J. Abrams and Hunter Green, who are 5 and 6. And then we have Daniel Espino, Hunter Bishop, Josh Jung, Ethan Hankins, Oscar Silva, Luis Gil, Dana Farley, and Luis Toribio. Those are the guys that are on our top 50 prospects. So I don't know how quickly they'll make it to the league, but they are still on the top 50 prospects. So as we move forward into the whatchamacallit, they move down Shohei Ohtani. I want to add him to the playoff roster. Yes. And I want to move down Jack Flaherty. Remove him from the playoff roster. I want Shohei on the roster. Before we get into it, they moved Greg Maddux down. Why'd they do that? Because they moved Roy Halladay up. Okay. Interesting. So this is what I want. I want the exact same rotation that we had. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who was the other guy that we had up here? Oh, we had Greinke up here. Well, let's just keep Greinke up here because he's Zach Greinke. So remove him. Then we'll keep Shohei up here. All right, that's how I want the rotation to look. The bullpen is going to be the exact same. They moved Mariano down, but we're going to keep Mariano up and remove him from the playoff roster, Jose Leclerc. So Mariano will be up here. The catchers, how is Joe Mauer doing? He's still got the broken hand, so we might have to take him off for the postseason. I'm sorry. Oh, we can't take him off for the postseason. Jeff Bagwell and Ryan Howard are up here. Robbie Cano got moved down, so we'll move down Jeff Bagwell. A-Rod and David Wright are still up. Jeter got moved down like he always does, so we'll keep Jeter up here and move down Trey Turner, Barry Bonds, Ricky Henderson, Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, no. Griffey. Why can't I do that? Remove from playoff roster? Before Willie Mays can... Oh, so I have to have a replacement up here before I can remove him. Okay. And Ichiro got moved up, so there's the replacement for Willie Mays. And Jason Hayward is up here, so I have to have a replacement for... Oh, because Sammy Sosa got moved down. I don't know why it switches all my guys for some reason. It's weird. All right. So... now we've got the roster how I want it, except for I probably am going to want... No, we'll keep Ryan Howard up here. But we may need another catcher just so Johnny Bench has some time to breathe. So I don't know who we would take down, though. I don't think we can take down anybody else. Unless it's like a bullpen arm. Maybe we move a bullpen arm down because we have... I mean, we have Shohei Ohtani. So he's an extra bullpen arm. Maybe we leave Roberto Acuna off the roster. Do we leave Roberto Acuna off the playoff roster, the postseason roster? He doesn't really have the stats to deserve it, but he is a 97 overall. So I don't know. I don't see how I can leave him off the roster. Maybe we... I feel like we need to have another catcher. Wait, what's that say? Is not eligible for the postseason. Only players on the 40-man roster or 60-day. I thought I had him on the 40-man. Is he not on the 40-man? Roberto Perez is on the 40-man. So why is he not? Roberto Perez is not eligible for the postseason roster. Only players on the 40-man roster or 60-day injured list as of September 1st. He was on the postseason. Maybe he wasn't on it as of September 1st. Or was he? I don't remember. Was he on the postseason roster? Or was he on the 40-man as of September 1st? I don't remember if he was or not. Well, that's okay. Johnny Bench will have to play every single game. Because I don't think, if we go to the injured list, I don't think Joe Mauer will be back. He's got 45 days left on the IL. So I don't think he's going to come back anytime soon. But I think our playoff roster is now finished. Our postseason roster. Which is good because it just all of a sudden like takes guys down. So let's simulate a couple days, see if it saves. We won the AA championship, which is cool. We're playing the Rays. Great. Did it save? Everybody's still on the team. John Smoltz. Yeah, it looks like it did save. That's good. That's good. We're playing the Rays. Great. Who needs to be fixed for the AAA roster? I don't know. Auto fix that. That's not gonna ruin anything, is it? John Smoltz, Zach Greinke, Shohei Ohtani. Okay, so it didn't change anything. But we thought we could get away from playing the Tampa Bay Rays. It doesn't look like it. If we take a look at the bracket, it's the Rangers and the Indians on the other side. So if we end up making it into the ALCS, we could most likely play Bryce Harper, who had one of the best seasons of all time. So over on the NL side, the Cubs and the Diamondbacks are there, and the Marlins and Phillies. I'm not sure who we played. I know we played the Diamondbacks in the very first one, the one that we won in 2022, the World Series. But I can't remember who we played in 2023 last year. I don't remember. So I don't think it's the Marlins, and I don't think it was the Phillies, and it definitely wasn't the Cubs, and we didn't go back-to-back with the Diamondbacks. So whoever it is, we'll get a new one. Unless it's the Diamondbacks, obviously, because we played them in the first year. So next episode will be the postseason. I hope you guys are excited. That's going to do it for this episode, though. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. Make sure to smash that like button, notification bell, and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.